okay, and of cotton. Eventually what happened is the Korean War comes, and Pakistan has a situation where they can sell their raw cotton and raw jute at a good price, and the war is making things better. If people are familiar with American history, they can the Great Depression came, World War II came, it fixed the economy for Pakistan. The Korean War was a way for them to sell their goods. They, like I said, they started their history with nothing really. So over time, the industry was set up mostly. The cotton industry was set up by the private sector, rich businessmen, the founding fathers. Most of the people after partition moved to West Pakistan, okay? And West Pakistan, they lived around Karachi, they lived around Lahore. They set up the cotton industry around the side of West Pakistan. Jute, people weren't forthcoming. East Pakistan was a lot less developed. People weren't as wealthy. So the private semi-body was created called PIDC, Pakistan Industrial Corporation. They funded and developed the jute industry, and then after that, they would take that and they would sell it off. Okay. But over time, by 1955, the industry is developed completely. Jute is making money. They're making export earnings. I won't give you statistics because you guys won't remember all that, but I want you guys to remember this. Pakistan had 17 textile mills at independence, cotton textile mills. They had no jute mills at all. By 1955, they were self-sufficient. 8 years. All the political instability. People tend to blame politics. I look at the industry. What's going on in the industry? By 1955, whatever you say, there was a lot of change in governments, but government was consistent throughout from 1947 to 71. But specifically 1947 to 55, government was specific, and they all believed in industry better things. When the industry was set up, pre-formal plan period was a time of great growth, but Pakistan's leaders, they need more central planning. And when the industry was self-sufficient, to meet the domestic demand, people figured we need to, phase A, the government assumed phase 1 is done. We can meet the domestic demand. We need to phase 2, meet phase 2. We need export, textiles. And then they were on the ship or on the road to export earnings because they valued foreign exchange. Foreign exchange was needed for everything because they believed foreign exchange could only better Pakistan. The first plan was crafted by the PC in late 1955. The plan estimated around 11 million rupees for the plan period 1955 to 1960. The public sector was to invest 800 crores, that's 100 million rupees. Rupees is the Pakistan currency. And the private sector was going to invest 360 million crores. Government was going to do the bulk of economic growth for Pakistan in this period, but the private sector and semi-government body of PIDC through the jute industry was going to develop the cotton industry and the jute industry. Sorry. There was great growth in the first plan, even though it wasn't followed fully. It was put into effect in 1957 officially. By the end of 1959, the period, cotton was expanding. Jute was doing a lot better. It was building Pakistan. There was a lot more of the export earnings. Textiles came from jute than West Pakistan. This is why people in West Pakistan, people in East Pakistan felt there was economic disparity, and there was. Okay, people in West Pakistan were earning like 20% more than people in East Pakistan, and this was consistent throughout the time, and it got only worse from independence onwards to 1970. So the first plan, I'd say, was a test. It should have been an indicator that textiles aren't that reliable, that Pakistan should have diversified their industries. They should have been more realistic because it was an agrarian society. They should have created the industry, but what the government was doing, they were providing protection to the industry. The protection to the industry was creating uncompetitive behaviors. The mills, the private sector felt that with the government the government supporting them, they could be inefficient, and that led to a lot of problems. And by 1955, a mission came to the United States, and it talked about the inefficiencies of the industry of cotton and jute. And they talked about management being poor, quality being poor, a lot of negatives, but they actually believe there's potential. Pakistan made a productivity center. They made a productivity center, one in West Pakistan, one in East Pakistan. That was their main recommendation. Their report was 70 pages. They had 2 recommendations. One was, improve the efficiency and things, but specifically their second recommendation was make a productivity center in West Pakistan, East Pakistan, make things better. That was never followed. That was never followed. That was never followed. And the second plan came, the industry, more money was put into the industry, more expectations were higher than before, bigger expectations, let's do better. In 1958, Pakistan's government was overthrown by a dictator. You could say dictator, but he was a military general. He was in control from 1958 to 1969, okay? He created so much growth for Pakistan, statistically, that the second plan had projected to create 3 million jobs. It created 3.6 million jobs. And the GNP, gross national product, national income increased by 120% in a 5-year period. So the third plan was ambitious. They planned to do even more. The textiles were doing really well. But then what happened was there's a war with India in 1965. Pakistan was going to shift the strategy away from textiles and more to heavy industries. Okay, it was a shift away from that, and then there was hope Pakistan would be self-sufficient and reliable for itself. They were going to be away from textiles. The war with India changed everything. The funding went to defense, and there was more reliance on textiles, jute, and cotton. And the people were not okay with this. But beginning in 1968, Mahbub al-Haq, a statistician and a member of the planning commission that made these plans, he was upset by the system, and he told that there was 22 families in Pakistan that controlled 88% of the industrial wealth of the country, and the country split up soon after, and people began to be unhappy with the system. Pakistan had years ago, and that led to the liberation of Pakistan.